Hey teacher friends, welcome back to a moment to slow down and ask yourself the question, what do I need? Versus, what do I need to do? Now, if you were to make a list of all the things that you do for your job every day, go back in time to the 1940s and give someone from that time period the list, they would probably take one look at it and their heads would explode. And not from the time travel. You do a lot. You're a hero. Now add on to that the inner critic that loves to tear you down and question everything that you do. That inner critic is a villain. So what's a teacher to do? Let's talk solutions on this installment of Hey Teacher Friend. Now teacher friends, some of you know that voice all too well. Maybe it sounds like your parent, or maybe it sounds like your principal, or that second grade teacher who told you your handwriting was ugly. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it sounds like that disrespectful little blonde boy from the Karate Kid. Either way, that inner critic is probably the one having you compare your anchor charts, the ones that you hand wrote and stayed late to do, to their printed ones, or has you comparing your Microsoft PowerPoint to their Google Slides. Where do they get those templates from anyway? Either way, I want to guide you to some freedom and some peace today. You can actually change the narrative of the inner critic. Now let's work on transforming your inner critic to less of a villain and more of a guide. You're going to write down a couple of truths about your teacher self. Now you can pause the video for this or do this after, but you want to write down 5,000 things that make you an awesome teacher. Go ahead. I know you have at least 500 in you. The point is that you want to write until you're empty. All of these positive things that make you the incredible teacher that you are. Now, you need to record this somehow, whether you write it down, make it a video note, or make it into a poster that you frame, or make it the wallpaper to your phone. At worst, you've got a really nice list of positive things about yourself, but at best, you can refer to this list on a consistent basis so that you can start to internalize and memorize these truths about yourself. So every time that inner critic starts to get hype, you can tell that inner critic who you really are. Effectively, the more that you do this, the more that you can literally change your brain's pathways to more positive truths about who you are as a teacher and the value that you bring to your classroom, instead of the negative things that your inner critic has been saying for years. I've read this really awesome book by Dr. Norman Deutsch called The Brain That Changes Itself, and it explains in great detail with lots of scientific evidence and big words for about 200 pages about how the brain literally has to unlearn all of the negative self-talk that your inner critic has been spouting in order to make new pathways for the positive teacher truths that you're going to plant in. It does take some work to change the way that your brain works, but it's work that's well worth it. Look, the system was not set up to sustain you, and there are a lot of mixed messages about being some sort of well-balanced person who is also a superhuman or a robot. You are a human who happens to teach, and a well-balanced teacher is an excellent teacher. And you, my teacher friend, are excellent. See you next time.